Celtics are as good as we thought they were, as they are now up 3 games to 1 against the Mavs. They are playing the Mavs on a closeout situation Monday night here in Boston. And so in today's video, we are talking about the game 4 reactions and the previews for game 5. Let's go ahead and jump right into it, guys, as we look at the box score from game 4. And I just think that this was a bit of a surprise for the Mavs to respond in this way. I thought that at the end of the day, man, I just felt like the Celtics, man, just were going to go ahead and close this up, guys. And they didn't. Kudos to the Mavs for going out there and actually showing that they could go ahead and punch the Celtics right back in the mouth. Let's start with what they were able to do on the box score, guys. So looking at Luka Doncic and what he's been able to do throughout this series, he's had 30-plus games in the series, but they have not been as effective. You saw that he put up another 29 points in this one. He also was able to contribute a lot like how he has been throughout the series with the assist and then also too with the rebounds as well. So I think that that's pretty good for Luka and what he's been able to do. But I think the key for them in game 4 was what Kyrie Irving was able to do, plus 28, 21 points. He had 4 rebounds and 6 assists, 10 of 18. That's the biggest note, I think, for the Mavs. And look, I thought that the Mavs would have a great chance in winning this series. I had them picked to win this series. I thought that they were going to be able to unlock Gafford, and also, too, they were going to be able to unlock Lively like they have been doing throughout the playoffs. And I thought that Kyrie and Luka were some of the best closers in the playoffs here. But the Celtics defense has been incredible against Kyrie and taking that away, and the lob threats as well. PJ Washington, 6 points. Derrick Jones Jr., 5 points as well. So I think even though the Celtics got drummed, this is much like what they've been doing, I think, throughout the series. It was a welcome sight for the Mavs to get a big 15 points here from Tim Hardaway Jr. So he's played pretty well in this one, hasn't played well throughout the series, and they got 11 points from Lively. He's only had 2 the last couple games going into this one. On the other side of the ball, look, Jason Tatum, even in this one, 15 points, just 4 of 10 from the field, really couldn't get it going from downtown. That is the one knock, I think, about the Celtics, is that if they struggle from downtown, then this team generally struggles, because that's what they usually do. They shoot a lot of 3-pointers. The lowest output that I've seen from Jaylen Brown all series, and really I'm dating back to the beginning of the playoffs, just 10 points on 3 of 12 shooting. The Mavs did a great job in really making him feel uncomfortable. He was only 1 of 5 there, and they also took him away as a distributor, only having 2 assists. Derek White, only 6 points in this one, so took him away like negative 29, negative 38 for Drew Holiday as well, man. Like, it was just an ugly day for the Celtics. Now, moving forward in game 5 that is coming up here tomorrow, expect for this to be much like the same that I think you saw in games 1, 2, and 3. I think that it is going to be an absolute madhouse out there at TD Banks, which I've personally been there. And I just think that this is probably going to be a closeout day. I just don't know if Kyrie Irving is going to be able to bring back that same it factor that he had in Dallas, right? And I thought that if Dallas was going to jump back into the series, they were going to need to win both games at home. They were not able to win both games at home. And just to loosely recap on what happened in game 3, Luka fouled out in that one. The Mavs were up. The Celtics put on a huge rally. And the one thing that I can say about the Celtics is they don't let you get much separation. Even when they're down, they usually claw right back at you. And that's a sign of a championship team. I'm thinking about the Golden State Warriors when they were in their prime. You could have them at halftime. You could even have them going into the, fourth quarter, but the way that they were able to close down the stretch in prime quarters and get into the clutch, that's where they used to separate with a number of defensive stops, a lot of big three-point shots, and that reminds me a lot of what you see with the Celtics. So, going into game 5, I would expect that the Celtics are going to win this game. I don't know if it's going to come in bunches. I don't think that the Mavs are going to just lay down in this one. I think that this is probably going to be one of the tighter games in the series because I just don't think that the Mavs are going to lay down. I'm not sure that Lively and Gafford are going to be a big factor here. But I do see that there is a path for Luka to elevate his game even more and Kyrie to go out there and show out at least for one more game. So I like the Celtics tomorrow to close this thing out and end it. And the one thing that I will say about this NBA Finals, guys, is it's not been the best or the most exciting series, really. It's one of the more boring, I think, NBA Finals that I can remember. This kind of reminds me a lot of the San Antonio Spurs and the New York Knicks. If you remember that year, I believe it was '99 after the lockout, and they only played 50 games, and it was the Spurs, and they had Tim Duncan and they had David Robinson, and it was like, look, man, they literally were the bigger team against the Knicks, and you just knew that that was probably going to be the outcome. And I think that this is what is happening in this series. Although I think that there was a lot of hype for the excitement, you were thinking that you were going to get a lot more tighter basketball games. But for the Celtics to really walk down the Mavs like this, especially with no Porzingis, I had picked the Celtics to be in trouble as long as they were having injury troubles with Porzingis. And the fact that they've really walked through that, I mean, I have to give the Celtics a bunch of credit for that. And so, that's my rant here, guys. This is Real Talk Sports with Rico. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. In the show notes, you can find us on Spotify. The link is there. And you can also find us here on YouTube as well. You can catch me talking a bit of the Bulls basketball on Bulls Digest there too as well, guys. So shameless plug. But in the meantime, this is Real Talk Sports with Rico, guys. Enjoy the game and happy Father's Day to the fathers out there, guys. Enjoy your day, and I will see you guys on the next show. Enjoy. All right. Peace, guys. Peace, peace, peace.